Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 as we are playing with the French Empire in the Law Resistance expansion. Alright, so let's continue with our invasion of China, trying to get these victory points taken so that we can get them to capitulate. So we're doing that. I think that's it. I moved the planes and ships around, or I moved the ships around. I still need to make sure our planes are about as good as they can get. Right now, yeah, until we get some of these air bases built, we're not going to be able to send any more planes here, which is going to be necessary to get the wind there. Yeah, let's go ahead and just let it play. And figure out how this is going on up here. We did get the modern ship torpedo launchers. Is that all we were looking to get? Let me just double check here. No, we're going to get the advanced light battery, and then we are going to build those destroyers. We'll undo the cruiser stuff next, so we'll get the advanced medium battery, I guess. All right. So yeah, just focus on getting these attacks done up here. Oh yes, I forgot about the situation up here. We've got more troops here that we need to defeat. I'm gonna try. Can we wait for these guys? No, I'm not gonna wait for them. We'll just go ahead and get the win there. That'll cut off the divisions that are here. We're getting the win there. Let me just take a look. See that we don't have too many troops assigned here. It looks like some of these guys need to get back onto the regular line. There's one more division here. I'm not entirely sure where he's at. Okay, he's there, and he's gonna try and. It's fine. We already have him attacking, so I'm not gonna move that. Let's go and just dip along the front and see if we can do any attacks here that are successful. This one should be a successful attack. Could support the attack instead, so we don't get cut off. But nah, I'm not too worried about them. I ain't respecting them, man. Let's go and attack them this way since they're about to beat us there. And yeah, getting winds all across those rivers. Or across that river, I suppose just one river. I think it was only one river. I gotta take a look. I'm pretty sure it's one river. Yeah, just one river that's going across there. Alright, so just waiting for these troops now. Let's go and have them attack over this way. We've got another division here. We're attacking across a river here, but we'll just take it. It's a victory point, and they're already attacking, so let's go ahead and get these guys probably pushing up to. Oh, he's already going up there. Okay, we'll just wait. Just wait for these guys. And to go and dip on back over to America to see if there's anything we can do here. I've been trying to do the attack here without not much success. It does look like we might be able to win there, though. And then we've been continuing attacking here as well. Again, not with much success, unfortunately. Yeah, these guys are all pretty weak. You know what? I'm just going to send them on. Screw it. Maybe they'll win, maybe they won't. Again, just trying to keep the pressure on them. It doesn't really, never mind. Yeah, we're just not going to be able to do it just yet. We need more troops over here, guys. But we have a whole army moving over here, so we just got to give them time. Give them time to get here. Again, we're going to keep that attack going to at least try and maybe get some of them to retreat. I don't know. Also, we just got a notification about another invasion, though I think that's just the Peru one. Yeah. Okay, so let's go and dip back over to China. This is where it's important to get the win right now. That's the only one that is the only one that really matters to get that peace treaty. And we're at 92%, so we should have the peace treaty with the Comintern this episode. I don't see how we couldn't unless I continue focusing too much on this front, looking at all the naval battles and stuff. I guess that's one way we can get it done. I thought there was something else over there. Oh yes, and I keep forgetting that we're on this front here. We need to be on this front, fighting. And let's just see. I suppose we will attack here. Looks like that should be a win. And we got some divisions here cut off. Let's go and try and destroy those. We're going to take another division here. We're going to attack over that way. And also attack this guy here. That's a pretty easy win there. We'll just leave some pockets. That's okay. And looking for other locations. We could probably get a win there. I'd prefer to just cut them off, though. It seems like that shouldn't be too difficult to do. We've already won here, so let's go ahead and now send these guys this way. And two divisions that way. And then this guy can support that attack there. Looks like that one might not be a win, but we'll keep it going for now. Alright, so they're attacked across there. This is not going to work, so we'll stop that. Alright. So, making good progress along here. These are big provinces, so they do take a while to move. Of course, we just kind of race up to that. Well, you know what? Let's go. We got divisions that are coming up that way. Let's just go and grab that victory point, and maybe we can get them to capitulate. Probably not. I don't think just taking the capital will be enough. Likely need to take a bit more territory, and there we go. That's it. We've got the peace treaty, guys. So the Comintern is finally defeated. They were a massive faction, so there's going to be a lot here to do. And it's going to be very difficult to make sure that we get to do what we want. The Japanese got to go first. Okay, so they made a supervised state in Serbia. That was not really an area that we, were that worried about. I mean, I guess I did want to try and get control here, but it's fine. Yeah, there's really nothing. I'm surprised the Japanese decided to do that of all things. Yeah, I guess that is a little bit strange. Okay, we could take this here. Could get a bit of the territory for the Italians. But really, we should probably make sure that we are able to puppet the countries who want to puppet, because I assume that the Japanese will, with all those points they got, that's what they're going to focus on doing, and I don't want them to do it. I don't really want to puppet the Union of Britain. I'm actually surprised that it costs so much to puppet them. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. It looks like they're going to get everything. Okay, I see. So that's why it's going to cost all those points. I kind of want to... So this is what I want to do as far as annexation goes, guys. We're going to try and get like territory that the French at some time had a claim to. Their king did. So Spain, for instance. Now, given Napoleon never had a rightful claim on Spain, he obviously put his brother on the Spanish throne, but he never technically had a claim on them. But the French monarchs did have a claim on Spain. So I think we're going to attempt to annex them. And what I'm trying to do is balance the annexation versus the puppeting, because some people prefer that I puppet everybody. Some people prefer that I annex everybody. So I'm going to try and do a little bit of both, guys. That's what we're going with here. So with the Spanish, we're going to try and annex them. With the British, I would also like to annex them, because I mean, come on, it's the French. You gotta, as the French, you gotta annex the British, right? And they, at one time, again, the French monarchs did claim to hold the rights to the throne of England. Given most of the time it was the English kings that had claims on the French throne, but there was a time that the French claimed the throne of England, so we will annex that as well. And then we'll puppet like the Soviet Union, big countries like that. And so what we'll want to do is start with the countries we want to puppet to make sure we're able to. Although it's interesting that puppeting costs so damn much. Yeah, that's like really strange that it costs so much to puppet just for states here. I'm not entirely sure why that's so expensive. And because there's certain territories we want to annex. We want to make sure that we're able to annex. Like right here, this is rightfully ours. So I feel like we have to annex that. Yeah, I feel like we have to get that. All right, so let's go and annex here. Then there's also the territory right there in Brazil that I'd like to get under our control. I'm just worried about like who's going to cause us problems, man. Like the Japanese causing us problems or whatever. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess we'll focus on just getting this African territory finished up here. I know Africa's not like super important, but again, I don't want the Japanese doing anything here. I'm actually surprised they were able to do anything in Yugoslavia. Like that's why I took up so many points, I think. But yeah, let's just go ahead and, oh, it looks like we're not gonna be able to do all this. Okay. It's puppeting the Soviets that is going to be so costly, but we have to do it initially. Maybe I shouldn't focus on Spain or on Africa first. All right, guys, this is what we'll do. We'll go ahead and take that territory because it's close here, and I did want to get that. Remember, Napoleonic France did directly control parts of Yugoslavia. I think it was the coastline up along here, so Dalmatia. I think it's what they directly controlled, so we'd probably want to seize control of that. But it doesn't look like we have enough points to do that, so we won't be able to. So I guess we'll just do what we can, which might not be much. And it's only 1 point there, and we can't even do it. So that tells you right there that there's nothing that we can do. All right, so this is it. That's all we can do. Because the Soviet Union, for whatever reason, is so much points to puppet, like literally, oh, okay, they're giving us all this territory too. Okay, that's interesting. Well, that'll actually help stop the Japanese, I suppose, from taking territory. So I guess that's good. So let's go ahead and say end our turn here. And now they have satellited more states here. All right, I don't know why they're so inclined to do stuff here. But there's really nothing I can do about it now. So I just have to allow it. I did want to get more territory. I wanted to get Bessarabia for the Romanians. I wanted to give the Bulgarians some territory, maybe the Greeks as well, give them Macedonia. And let's focus on our own stuff first. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to be done, guys. So much stuff to be done. And I really want Africa all of ours. And it shouldn't take too long to get all this. We'll wait to get those islands, I suppose. And did we take that? No, we didn't. All right, so let's just take these. And the reason why I want to get Africa knocked out is because, again, I'm trying to make it look pretty here with all that blue all across Africa. But most importantly, it's just cheap. It's really cheap for the most part. So we can kind of get Africa done and then not have to worry about it anymore. So that's the way I'm looking at this. Do we want to get... We might leave this here since we don't have Somalia. We'll get that later if we can, if it's an option. But for right now, I think that this is good for Africa. Yeah, I feel pretty good about Africa. We could go ahead and finish up here in Brazil. We don't own that territory, so we won't be able to get that. We can only get this one here, which would result in a very weird situation here, where they're probably going to puppet somebody. I'm just going to probably let them have that then. If we get to the end and we can take it, then we will. Otherwise, it'll just have to result in looking however it looks over there. So we could go ahead and take that, but yeah, that's kind of weird map look. I think we're going to start working on the British and the Spanish. I was trying to see if there's like anything else I needed to do as far as like puppeting, like countries I needed to puppet. Again, China will likely leave to the Japanese. We could take a couple little spots here to make it look a little bit better. Like we can go and get Hong Kong, but it's not in our control, so it'd be expensive. Yeah, despite the fact that we actually occupy much of this territory, we really can't do much there. All right, so that's a shame. All right, so I suppose we'll go and start working on Spain and the British, trying to get them annexed. So how do we want to do this? Where do we want to start first? I guess we'll start with the Spanish first, and just go ahead and start taking their territory. Just kind of slowly go down the coast here, though I would really like to make sure we have Gibraltar in our hands, for obvious reasons. And yeah, we'll just take as much as we can here, see what we can get. And kind of just move along the coast here, going to make sure we get Madrid. Yeah, it looks like we're getting quite a bit. And we had the points. Maybe we might even be able to get all of Spain, which I wasn't expecting, as well as Portugal. I almost want to let Portugal be free, though. I think I'm gonna leave Portugal be free. Just conquer this here, and then let the Portuguese be puppeted. There we go. So what we're going to do is satellite the Kingdom of Portugal. We can't. It's too many points. All right, so we won't be able to do that for right now. We can take that, so we will. Be 23 points there. And let me make sure there's nothing I missed in Africa, since there are a lot of little spots here. Could take that, but again, I think I might let them have that if they can get it. Is there anything here in South America? Oh, you know what? Could take Panama, and that'll allow us to easily invade there. Oh, it's 870 points. We ain't gonna be able to afford to get in that. All right, so that's not an option. There's no territory up along here. I do want to get this one, so I'm gonna grab that, Bermuda, and see what we want to get next. I suppose we can start getting territory for Soviets, but let's go and start working on the British, if we can. We don't have a lot of points left, so probably not gonna be able to do it. Let's try and see if we can't find something cheap to take then, somewhere. It's like a island somewhere. You're going to get roads. That's pretty cheap. We could also take some territory for, you know, we're just going to get roads. But we can go ahead and try and see if we can't get territory for Bulgaria and Romania. I suppose we'll start with Romania. Or maybe we should do here, because this shouldn't be an issue with the Japanese, while this territory will be. So what I want to do is get... see how best to do this. I almost feel like we should just give all this to Bulgaria. They've been our ally for longer, I think. So yeah, we could have them take this here, and then the Greeks wouldn't get anything. I want to give them Macedonia, though. We could also give them Albania, I suppose. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how many points this would be. I'm just over speculating and shit. It'd be 36 to get a Macedonia, and then Albania would be 46. I suppose we won't get them that. Let's see what else is available. We can give Bulgaria that territory, but yeah, we won't be able to because we don't have enough points. How about the Romanians? Also, Austria-Hungary could probably grab that one from them. Yeah, we can't because we don't have the points. I don't think we have the points to do anything at this point. But what I'll do is I'll take a look at the Soviets here. The Russians now, I suppose, is what they'll be called. And see if there's like any cheap point ones that we can get, which there are not. We could also continue taking territory here. This is fairly cheap. We can get the 1-pointer ones up here at the top. Yeah, these are all like 0 points or 1 point. So it's all pretty easy to get. So go ahead and do that. At the very least, we'll have that, you know, taken care of, so we don't have to worry about it. Get another 0-pointer one there, and I think that's all we can do. We can't even do 1-pointer one, so Let's go ahead and enter turn and see what the Japanese have decided to do. They have decided to satellite Bosnia. Okay. So this is all very expensive for them. That's the reason why they don't have any points, because they don't control this territory. So because of that, they are using all their points on not very intelligent. Honestly, it's not a good way to use their points. So let's go ahead and I didn't mean to close that. We need to puppet Portugal. Puppet the kingdom of Portugal here, which they were supposed to be a kingdom from the start. We had set them up to do that, and then it just didn't work out for us. So since they're so focused on this territory here, I think we will go ahead and try and wrap this up and get as much territory to our allies as possible. So Austria-Hungary has claims on all this territory, has cores on all this territory. So we will go ahead and give it to them. And that one as well. So this will all be Austria-Hungary's land now, and Bulgaria can now have this one here. It might be kind of, it's not too expensive. And then the Greeks will get Albania. And then for this last little bit of territory, how would that look? Just trying to see how it looked map-wise. Who would we want to give that to? I think no matter who we give it to is going to look weird, so I think we're just going to let them decide to do whatever they want with it. All right. So I guess we're going to start on the British next. I know there's a lot of islands to be taken. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do, frankly, everywhere. So let's go ahead and start with Britain. Well, it doesn't look like we have very many points left, huh? All right, that's a shame. We can't get the 58-pointer Southwest England, so we'll start there. Suppose that's fine. And I don't expect we'll be able to get anything else here, so let's go and continue with the Russians now. We'll see if we can't get any... Oh, nope, no 7-pointer ones. So what about the 1-pointer? How about a 4-pointer there? Can't get that. Can't even do the 1-pointer, so kind of tells you where we're at. So let's go ahead and end our turn here. See what the Japanese decided to do. They satellited Montenegro, which was also incredibly expensive for them. So that's what I was kind of hoping would happen there. I wish we could have got Serbia into Bulgarian hands. That would have been nice. But whatever, this is how it's going to look. It's going to be very broken up. Yugoslavia is going to be broken up into several states. Balkanized. It's fitting. So I love that Portugal's color, the Kingdom of Portugal's color is great. It's fantastic. I love that color. And it's going to fit very nicely with our blue here. But let's go ahead and continue taking territory. So did they get that? I don't know who actually has that now. I don't know if Portugal got it. But let's go and continue with England because I don't want them to puppet them, which is something they might very well might do. So we'll try and take as much as we can here. That's 93. That's 111. Wales would be 69. So we can get Wales. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I don't want any weird situations. So we'll just go up north. We'll continue to conquer north. And just be careful with it. Somebody wanted me to free Wales and Scotland. I suppose that would be okay with me. We could take a look and see, because I know that you can now free them. Yeah, I would be okay with satelliting Wales. Let's bring Wales back into the world, guys. Same thing with Scotland. We'll satellite them. We'll just take England over, which makes sense. France, for a very long time, had an alliance with Scotland, so we're old friends, old pals. So yeah, we'll satellite them instead. So with our remaining points, whatever we have left, we'll just take territory for the Soviets. If we can. It seems like I'm having a lot of trouble getting stuff for them every time I come over here. It seems like 1 point, man. You'd think we'd be able to do that. Let's go ahead and end our turn, see what the Japanese did. And the Australians might do some stuff too. And they did decide to puppet them over here. I thought that would end up happening, and it's just too expensive for us to deal with it. And it would look weird if they just had these 2 states, so that's why we're going to give them that state. And also it's very expensive for them to take that state, so that's another advantage to it. So Wales is now free. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, man, you gotta love that Welsh flag. Let's go ahead and puppet Scotland now. Oh, it's too expensive. Can we just take some territory then? Can't really take much. I think we're just going to pass. Get more points, see who they supervise. Ontario. Okay, interesting. They're going to try and get Canada. That kind of sucks because I really wanted Canada for ourselves because, you know, the French used to hold this territory. Maybe we should focus on this then. I was going to focus somewhere else, but yeah, maybe we should go and get this territory just because I don't want the Japanese to get it. I mean, and we don't even need all of it. We'll just probably take right here along the coast. So yeah, from Ontario and their capital, Ontario, they'll be able to take the rest of this over. We'll just let that happen. I'm okay with that. So yeah, we'll annex all this, and that way you don't even, if we did fight the United States, which I don't think we're gonna, we'll talk about that later here. But yeah, if we wanted to, if we annexed all this, we could then have a point to invade from, but I think they would conquer this before we were able to react to that. We wouldn't be able to get the troops over there soon enough, I don't think. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue dealing with the British. So we're going to satellite Scotland next. And then from here, we'll go ahead and just annex whatever we can. Looks like that's going to be it for us. Maybe the Russians can get some stuff. Yeah, we got a 7-pointer there we can grab. 20-pointer there. You know, just kind of spread out slowly. Grab all the cheap ones first, I suppose. And that's about it. Oh, 6-pointer there, can't get. So maybe the 1-pointers. We're trying to connect them. No, you can't even get the 1-pointers. So, all right. So let's go ahead and end our turn and take a look at what they did. Okay, they satellited Shaanxi. So again, we're gonna let them have that territory there. For Canada. I would have liked to get all of Canada under control, but yeah, I didn't even think about it, guys. I mean, there's so much to do. There's just so much to do, guys. The Australians are going to be able to do something too soon. I imagine the only thing they're going to be able to do is, unless they puppet somebody, the only thing they're likely going to be able to do is do stuff in China, I suppose. Okay, can we not do anything? We can get Yorkshire. We're just going to have to pass. Okay, so they did do the supervised state in Costa Rica. Yeah, I didn't realize that we didn't have the points to do any of that. All right, so let's go ahead and get these islands taken care of, guys. And again, I did mention this last episode. I did expect that this peace treaty is going to probably take up the entire episode. That's the nature of these peace treaties. They are long, time-consuming. We're going to get all these islands that we can get. See if there's anything else here. I could go and take... Oh, there's some islands over here. That's right, the British freed everything. I keep forgetting that the communist British freed all their, or let go all their territory. So I guess the Soviet Union is the main thing we want to work on now. Of course, you could grab that territory there. But again, I'm kind of okay with them freeing it, I suppose. How much would that be? That's really not that much points. Yeah, I guess we'll do that then. 15. We could also grab this territory here for fairly cheap, so we will. Alright, so that looks good. Is there any other islands left to be grabbed? Okay, that's right, there's all these ones, and they're kind of expensive, so we won't grab them. It's not worth it. Alright, so let's just work on Soviet territory then. I think we're going to try and get this territory up here to try and connect these fronts here, or these territory that we have. We do want to get all this for them as well, so we should start expanding down that way, because this is where they're going to be able to free countries. Oh yes, Romania. Let's go ahead and get Romania there, Bessarabia, now before I forget, or before something happens to it. Because it's only right that they get it. We can also extend Polish territory out, which I think is exactly what we're going to do. We could also free Ukraine. I did want to free some countries in the Soviet Union, so I think we will go ahead and do that, actually. Let's take a look at what all we can do here as far as satelliting countries. Central America, yeah, we don't want to do any of these. But yeah, we could free up Ukraine. I'd be okay with that, though I don't really want them to get all this territory. I think I'm going to give this to Poland. Let's deal with Poland first. One thing at a time, guys. While trying to, like, get Ukraine free, and we still need to deal with the Polish. Let's go and get them this territory here, just to make the borders look a little bit better. And then Ukraine can be up along here. We could give this territory here. We could also give Lithuania a little bit of territory. Or we could just free Latvia, I suppose. Yeah, and free Estonia. We could always do that, I guess. We could free up Belarus, but I don't think we're going to. Yeah, I think we're just going to give this the Soviet Union and Poland. You know what? No, we won't do that. Poland can just be up along this borders. It looks fine that way, I feel. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the Soviet Union and then start working on satelliting some of these damn countries so that we can stop the AI from doing it. So there's a lot of countries to satellite here. What I want to do is work on the territory here first. So let's do Azerbaijan. We'll do them first. Could go ahead and do Ukraine. That's really expensive, though. Let's do Armenia next. Oh, we can't. Okay, so at this point, we should just focus on seeing if we can't take a little bit more territory here. Little 1-pointers and stuff. We'll see if we can't get a 6-pointer. We can. Okay, so take this territory here. And can we get that one? We can. All right, interesting. I'm surprised we can get all this. Why can't we get a more? I guess we got to get it. So we will, but let's see if we can't get something a little bit more expensive, though. 8-pointer? No. All right, so we'll have to go for the cheap 1-pointer here. And can we get that one? We cannot. I don't know that there's any other territory to be had that's cheap enough for us to get just yet. No. All right, well, that's fine. I almost want to puppet Panama, too. I might go ahead and try and do that, actually. Let's go back to us. Close up the Soviet Union, and then just see how much... I mean, we don't have any points. But maybe we can try and puppet them. Oh, it's 870. It's going to be the same amount of points. That's right. As it would be to annex them. Yeah, so we won't be able to do that. So let's go and enter turn. Let's see what everybody else did. Looks like nobody did anything. Okay, excellent. So it'll give us another opportunity. Japan will get to act next, though. I don't think we're going to be able to do much this turn, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. So we're going to continue working on the Soviet Union and puppeting their countries. I wanted to finish up here first. And then we'll work on like the Baltic states. So let's see. Yeah, we don't want to operate in Central Asia just yet. Let's do Georgia and Armenia first. So they've been knocked out. We could go ahead and do Ukraine next and Belarus if we were going to release them. They would be released right there, which we don't have the points for, so that's not really an option. What about Ukraine? Not seeing Ukraine. There's Belarus. Where's Ukraine, man? Yeah, I'm not seeing Ukraine here. Maybe I just skipped over them, but some of these are pretty cheap, so we could easily remove or free them up here. And they're so cheap that the AI might try and do it. I guess we can work on Central Asia, just get this done. I am trying to like completely free everybody from the Soviet Union. They're free most of them, obviously not all of them, because we've already missed that opportunity to do a couple countries. Here's another one we can do. Oh, that's a liberate, my bad. So I think that's it. I think that's all we have the points for. We could do Tanutuva, so we'll do that. Just looking for other cheap ones, and there's none. So I'm going to close that off, and I suppose we're just going to go ahead and try and expand Soviet territory. And try and get them whatever we can. Get some 10-pointers here. Can we get them that one? What if I just took just that? Oops. What if I took just that one? No, it's too expensive. How about going here? Yeah, we can go and get those ones. All right. Here. Okay, so there's some cheap ones over here we might be able to get. And that's a no. Alright, so that is all, guys. Let's go and end our turn. We didn't get to do much. I probably should have just waited. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to pass. See what they did. Nobody did anything. Okay. So we are, again, have the most points. So let's go ahead and did we not finish up the British territory? What do they have left? Oh, yeah, okay. They still have a little bit of territory. They have a little island. So let's go ahead and continue freeing countries, guys. Try and get this done. So there's not much left, actually. We almost finished this up. And it looks like Ukraine is no longer an option because this territory here was given to Poland, I think, so that resulted in Ukraine not being an option. So that's unfortunate. I would like to have freed them, but I'm not seeing them here. Yeah, so we'll just free Belarus. Estonia and Latvia can be done. Well, these are expensive, aren't they? We could do Estonia. We won't be able to do Latvia too, though. Okay, we can do Uzbekistan. And I think that's going to be it. So we'll just have to take territory for the Russians now. Just see where we're at. I kind of want to get this ramped up here, so let's go and start working on this. So it doesn't look like we could do much here. We get that 9-pointer and the 5-pointer. And that is all, folks. That is all. I didn't see Kazakhstan in there for freeing. Alright, so let's go and end our turn. Let's see what the AI did. Okay, so they're still operating in China. There's a lot of stuff to be done in China, so I'm really hoping that distracts them. I wish they would have done that instead of Canada. I almost want to just take the rest of Canada and there'll just be one little free Ontario here, and then we'll just take all of Canada. Yeah, all of Canada is rightfully French, says I. Can we take it all in one shot? Because that'd be really nice. Almost. It's just one little province we can't take. So yeah, we'll take all of China over, or excuse me, all China, all of Canada over, and then we'll go and get that for the Russians. And can we get this one here? 8-pointer? No, we cannot. How about these cheap ones here? The 6-pointer? No. All right, so that is it. Let's go and enter turn. So they got the Central American Socialist Republic in El Salvador has been puppeted. All right, so let's go ahead and finish Canada up. So let's go and grab that last province there. And yeah, there'll just be one little, just Ontario will be free. I'm fine with that. So what else is left to do besides the Soviet Union? Just these islands, I think. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything, guys, because, you know, there's a lot of territory that we're dealing with. We dealt with all Europe, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and continue dealing with the territory here. See if there's anything here to be done. No. All right, so yeah, let's just go ahead and continue freeing countries, I suppose. So let's take a look at the Soviet Union, see what they got left. So okay, I didn't know that they were. Yeah, I think that would look odd. I mean, we could take it and then give them this territory back, but look at how expensive that is. I'm actually surprised we're even... No, okay, we're not able to do that. Let's satellite Latvia, and there's Kazakhstan. Okay, I was wondering where the hell they're at. So we'll just satellite them, I suppose. And, okay, there are more countries here than I just was missing. Alright, and they're all incredibly expensive, by the way. So we won't attempt to satellite them just yet, although I would like to have more territory down here. And if we could satellite them, I'm trying to see how the best way to do this would be. Probably, let me see, probably Nicaragua first. We can't do it, though, it's too expensive. Alright, we'll just take Soviet territory. Wait a minute, are there islands here? I thought I saw an island we could take. Got all excited and shit. That's nothing we can do there, guys. Alright, so let's go and continue taking territory for the Soviets. Let's see if we can get Leningrad. We can't, so we'll just have to take that one province there. That's all we can get for them. Let's see if there's anything in the back here, which these are fairly cheap, so... Can't get the 7-pointer, can't get the 6-pointer either. So I think that's about it. That's all we're going to be able to get for right now. Alright, so let's go and enter turn. We might need a pass, guys. They have satellited Guatemala. If we want to finish satelliting, I suppose we should take advantage of this opportunity to do so while we still can, because we might not be able to do so for much longer. Could do Honduras as well, though. Yeah, we don't have the points for that. Okay, so that's all we're going to be able to do over there for right now. Everything's too expensive. So let's just go ahead and take Soviet territory. I don't think we'll be able to get much, guys. But we'll try. We'll try and get as much as we can. I'd really like to get Leningrad done, but yeah, it's a little bit too expensive, so we'll take that one. And then we'll start over here, since these are cheap and still too expensive. We can get the 6-pointer there. I know this creates something weird here, but hopefully it shouldn't cause any issues. So let's go and enter turn. See what the Japanese did. Honduras. Damn them. Damn them. I was trying to get that for myself. We could try and get Mexico, but I highly doubt that would end up working out. Trying to puppet them? Yeah, that'd be too damn expensive. But we could take the territory here. It's really not that expensive just taking this territory up here that was never actually conquered. So we could have like a border against the Americans here. So we could take that. We have this border up here. But yeah, I almost want to just take all the territory up along the border just because we could. If you look at this here, we could create a little state here. We'd have ports on the Pacific side. We wouldn't have any ports here though, up along this side. But yeah, we could technically take all that, although we don't have the points right now to do it. We could take a little bit of it. We could take these two, have a little bit of territory there. I suppose that's what we're gonna do. Take that Mexican territory over, and then we'll just work on the Soviet Union with whatever remaining points we have. Let's go and start over on this side again. Get all this taken. Mongolia could be puppeted as well. I don't think we'll have the points for it. I think that's gonna be it, guys. Yeah, that's it. Not seeing any cheap ones up along the edges here that we could grab. Okay, so let's go and enter turn. Yeah, we weren't able to do much there. really we need to pass at this point. And then see if we can't grab that one. Yeah, we're going to grab that. These other ones are too expensive. But yeah, this creates a bit of a front there with the Americans. Again, they'll probably just conquer all that territory from us. But so let's see what we want to do here. Let's go ahead and could get Leningrad. That's right. We're still trying to. We're not done yet with the Soviet Union and satelliting. So let's go ahead and make sure we do that. Could go ahead and satellite Mongolia, I suppose, as well. That'd be an option. Make sure Mongolia is puppeted. Looks like we can't do that, actually. I don't have enough points. All right, well, that's fine. Let's go and continue conquering territory here, then. Kind of just pushing the borders across. That's 17, which we can't get. Can't get the 10-pointer either, so I think that means we're done. Okay, so let's go ahead and... Well, we could take the territory here. It's a 6-pointer. We can't get, so it's end our turn. Let's see what the Japanese have done. They've done a lot of stuff. Panama. Okay, so they dealt with Panama, basically. Okay, and they continue dealing with China as well. So yeah, we can puppet them. But I think I'd rather make sure we get Mongolia first. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make sure Mongolia is in the faction. So puppet them. Could go ahead and puppet them next. If we can, if we have the points for it. We do. They're not very expensive. So, could go ahead and puppet them too. So yeah, we're going to do that. And what would be next? Okay, so we can liberate Ukraine. But we can't satellite them. Alright, that's interesting. So what do we want to do next? I guess just take more territory, right? Yeah, I suppose we'll just take more territory from the, or get more Soviet territory to the Russians. That's what I mean to say. And I guess we'll continue over in this direction. Though I kind of really want to continue. I want to get all this for the Russians while we can here. Yeah, we want to do this in order though. So let's just start over. Well, we can't start over there. It's too expensive. All right, so we'll start over here then. All right, we're going to get the 10-pointers there. And that is it. That is all, folks. All right, let's go end our turn. Let's take a look what they did. They dealt with India. Okay. They also changed the government. Oh, okay. So Union of Britain will now be democratic, and they'll have several islands. Okay, so they have a little bit of territory, so we won't be able to get all this, unfortunately. That's fine. The British are just going to be an island state now. Okay, what else did they do? Oh, that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and try and finish this up if we can. Well, not finish it up, but yeah, get it close to being wrapped up. Are we still clicking on ourselves? Let's just take a look. You know what, let's go and pass. We don't have much points here. Okay, they did take more territory here. I didn't realize that there's still territory left there. Yeah, we could have got that, but it's fine. Again, they're all balkanized there, and I'm okay with that. All right, so at this point, it's just, I think it's just getting territory for the Russians, if I'm not mistaken. There's still Mexico here, but again, these are expensive, very expensive. I'd like to get them, but we could get some of them, in fact. I'd like to get that one at least. Yeah, I think we will get that one. Yeah, we actually have the points to get some of this Mexican territory here. So I must think that we should, and Mexico can just be this here. Yeah, we're gonna get those for ourselves, and that'll give us, you know, a bigger, a lot more deeper territory to fall back on if we were to fight the Americans. I don't think we'll be able to get anything, guys. I think that's it. That's all, folks. Yeah, that's it. All right, so let's go and end our turn. See what the Japanese did. Okay, so took that little bit of Portuguese territory over there, and so I was fine with them taking that. What's left at this point? Obviously, there's still Brazil. I'm just looking to see if there's anybody left to puppet. All right, so it looks like you can't puppet them, which is interesting. Okay, they've already been puppeted, so we'll just let them have it then, I suppose. Could puppet Communist China, but I don't want to. All right, so yeah, at this point, I feel like it's just about taking territory now. We could go and just take this territory for the Russians, just kind of give them a bit more territory. It'd be kind of expensive, more than likely. I don't know, it's the same amount of points. So yeah, we could go and just take this for the Russians since I don't think we're going to free them. So just like to make the borders look nicer over here. I'd like to get this one as well, but that one's too expensive. So we'll just get those, and then just take any territory we can for the Russians. Just kind of move along the edge here. So we can't get any of those. We still need to get Leningrad as well. We should probably do that initially next turn. Do that from the beginning so we can get it done. Looks like I can't get the 10 pointers, which means we probably can't do anything. So let's go and end a turn. See what they did. All right, so it looks like they got that territory for Brazil. And so Brazil's just about done. Let's go ahead and just pass. Okay, they now are done with Brazil. And now they got to do Mexico still. They got to get all that territory to the Mexicans. So hopefully that's what they work on next. And they still have to deal with China. China's not been dealt with yet. So that's going to take some time. All right, so let's go and get all this territory to the Russians, guys. Before we end up having some issues here, which could very well end up happening. And we'll just kind of start over from this side here. I'm going to get all this taken. Looks like we should be able to get a lot done this turn, actually. That is all. Well, that's a 28 pointer. Maybe we can do a cheaper one here. No. All right, so I think that's it, guys. Let's go and end our turn. And they are now dealing with China finally. Okay. Oh shit! God damn it! I took all that territory for myself. Damn it! All right, we'll be able to give it back to him. Ah, shit. My bad, guys. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, we'll be able to give it all back to them. Yeah, we'll just have to. That shouldn't be a problem, guys. That shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. Shit. All right, so yeah, that looks super ugly. Got a line of blue territory here. You know what? We're gonna have to pass. We can't do this. Although if I can take this one, we will. We can't, because I think that'd look nicer if we took it. Actually, let's go ahead and do it now, while I have the points. Let's go and try and get that territory. I'd like to get all of this, frankly, but so the border should be up along here. I think that's what we'll do. Give all that to the Russians. And then let's go and continue taking territory for them. We'll start up here. Get whatever we can. Looks like we're going to be able to get quite a bit this turn. Excellent. And it looks like that's all. There's 6 pointer there. Oh, not bad. So we're going to get that one to him. It's going to end our turn. And yeah, this is so weird. But thank God we can fix it, guys. Because yeah, that would have been terrible. I should just be able to hand off all Russian territory to the Russians. And they continue getting the rest of the Chinese territory, so that should be just about done. But we could take that one, but I think it'd look strange, so we'll just stop it here, guys. And then let's go ahead and just focus on taking territory for the Russians now. Let's get all this taken into the Russian hands. Get them that oil, beautiful oil. And maybe we might be able to get this done this turn. That's what it looks like. All right. Yeah, we got all of it. Oh, we got to give him Leningrad too. I took that one on accident as well. What's left to be dealt with at this point? I don't actually know. I know there's still Mexican territory that we can take. But I think that as far as borders go, this is... I guess if we took that one, it would be okay. But we can't do it. It's just way too expensive. But yeah, I guess I'll take that one if I can get it. So yeah, I want to say that's it. Let's go and end our turn. And yeah, it's just Mexico and China that's left. So yeah, there's no territory here to take along our borders there. Looks like the Japanese have dealt with most of that territory. Yep. So it's just Mexico that's left. So let's take that territory there because I want that. But the rest of this, I think we're just going to let the Mexicans have. There's no islands left to be had anywhere, so yeah, let's just go and end our turn. And so yeah, we took that, and it looks like the rest of Mexico's been dealt with, and that's it. That's the peace treaty, guys. All right, let's go and say we're done. It's going to take a little while. There's a lot of changes that happened here. It was a big peace treaty. And we got the British Isles all kind of split up here. Well, we have control of all England. While Wales and Scotland is free. We took 87 total states. Wow. All right, look at Bulgaria looking bigger. Greece is larger as well. Austria-Hungary got a little bit extra land here. It's got them a little bit more powerful. And then, of course, we have our little mess up here that we need to get fixed. So let's go ahead and do that now. The Russian territory is maybe the highest resistance will get us to it. I don't know. So Russia. So I believe we're okay with all of those going to Russia. So all right, so we've returned the Russian territory and fixed my little mistake there. Luckily, we were able to fix it. Sometimes I make mistakes like that and I can't fix them without using the console or whatever. Okay, so let me just go dip through here real quick, get rid of all these little notifications here. All right, so that's good to go. And this is the current state of the world, guys. Obviously, there's still a lot of troops over here that we still have to fight, apparently. I guess we're still at war with countries. Let me just take a look what's going on here. All right, so the People's Republic of Ma has not been defeated yet. Okay, interesting. Yeah, they still need to be defeated. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Oh, did I puppet them? I did puppet them. I puppet them and I didn't give them the rest of their territory. All right, that was my bad, guys. I didn't realize that. So that resulted in China getting all this. I didn't realize I had puppeted them. There's just so much going on that I just didn't even remember that I was the one that puppeted them. I thought the Japanese had. All right, so that was my bad. I could have fixed that. Now, remember, a lot of these patches here are, not the way it's going to look. It's because there's, or I guess there was units there, whatever. They need to get destroyed, essentially. So, yeah, this is the current world map after our peace treaty with the Comintern. You see that we own a lot of territory, and that we don't own, much of it is in our faction. Like, look at Africa. Almost all of Africa is in our hands. Most of northern Central Asia is all in our hands as well, and in our faction. Of course, that's because we took all the Soviet territory. What else is there different? Most of the Balkans are in hands, with the exception of a little patch here where the Japanese were able to take that from us. Just seeing all of Europe, which was the main goal, was to get most of Europe in our hands, which we did get most of Europe. We don't have Scandinavia, we don't have Switzerland, and of course we don't have that territory there that the Japanese took. But for the most part, we dominate Europe. Our whole faction has it. And of course, look at France, man. France is powerful. Look at all this territory we got here, guys. There's a lot of territory. Yeah, everybody's kind of been broken up. Kind of took all that territory from the Russians as much as we could. We took from them and freed them. It was a bummer we couldn't get Ukraine freed. I would have preferred if we could have freed them here. But yeah, we weren't able to do it for whatever reason. It wasn't an option for us. Once I gave this territory to the Polish, that option disappeared. So yeah, we weren't able to puppet them. But yeah, the Russians are still incredibly powerful, guys. Despite the losses they've taken, they are still very, very powerful. We've kind of strengthened up some of our other allies as well. They're looking a bit more powerful too. Of course, I really like the way Germany looks with the more 19th century look here. Yeah, I like that early 19th century. Yeah, that's nice. And yeah, this is the world situation. So I've been thinking about it, guys, on whether or not we should finish up with the war against the Americans, because this was really not part of the plan. It was really dumb that they declared war on us. There was no reason for them to do that, to declare war on Argentina. It's really, really silly. And frankly, not only was it silly, it's outside of the goals, because it just doesn't make any sense. We were like best friends with the United States. They were sending us Lend-Lease. We had great relations. And then they just declared war on Argentina because they had a stupid decision to do so. Like, even though there's really no reason. They weren't fascists or communists. I mean, they weren't doing anything. They hadn't increased world tension at all. I mean, there just was no reason for them to declare war on Argentina. It doesn't make any sense, but they did it anyways. But yeah, like, I just don't feel like we should be at war with them, first of all. Secondly, we've already gone well outside the goals of this campaign, which were to conquer Europe. I said I wanted to conquer most of Europe. I didn't say all Europe, I said most of Europe. So, I mean, I probably would have liked to have conquered Switzerland, but at this point, I don't know if it's worth it. Continue the series just to conquer Switzerland. So yeah, I don't think we'd do that. And I don't really have any desire to go into Scandinavia at all. We haven't seen any point of going into there. So Switzerland's really the only one that I would like to have added to our faction. But we'll respect the neutrality, because Napoleon's not a monster. We are just trying to get rid of the other monsters in Europe. Damn Germans and Italians and all these bad guys. Austria-Hungary. These people who had to be dealt with. Russians. Yeah, I feel like all the monsters have been dealt with. We're gonna respect Switzerland's neutrality here, and yeah, I think we're gonna end the series here, guys. Because again, I just feel like with the United States, one, we shouldn't have been at war with them, and that's the big factor. I don't feel like we should have been at war with them. I feel like the AI did something weird there. But then the second issue, of course, the one I already mentioned, is the fact that it's outside the realms of the campaign, which we've already gone outside of. Like I said, I was going to conquer Europe and stay out of the rest of the world, the colonial territory. And look at what we did in Africa. We conquered a ton of territory in Africa. We conquered all of Brazil and Venezuela, so we expanded our territory there. And then, of course, oh, wow, look at all this. All the fronts are all messed up. But yeah, and then on top of all that, we've also expanded into China. So we got Africa, South America, China, Middle East, conquered a little bit more territory there. So yeah, we've already kind of gone outside the realms of what I had planned to do for this series, and it's already been pretty long. This is episode 33, I think, 33 or 34. So those are the two main factors. However, and this is also a very important one for me, but maybe not as important as the other two factors. In the Portuguese series right now, the video that'll be coming out the same day as this one, we're invading the United States in the Portuguese series. Like we are invading into Florida, trying to invade into New Orleans and whatnot, and going to hopefully do another invasion of the East Coast. And so we already have an invasion of America going in my other series. And now this invasion would obviously be quite different because we have territory here that we could invade from. But I think most of this would likely be conquered well before we ever got there, guys. Because we don't have any troops here. So I think that they would end up conquering all this. There wouldn't be much that I could do to stop them. I don't think we can get troops there soon enough. We do have troops on their way there, but yeah, I just don't think they would get there in time, guys. To save Mexico anyway, we'd probably lose Mexico. There's no port up along the Atlantic side, or I guess this is more the Gulf of Mexico side. But there is a port along this side. We could might be able to get troops into one of these ports before the Americans got here, but maybe not. We're pretty far away. We could send troops from here, I suppose, but obviously we have other issues that we're currently dealing with there. Obviously we have this frontier we still have to get dealt with, although there's a lot less troops here now. And we can maybe invade from Canada. I think we should be able to invade from Canada. At the very least, we'd have this port that we could send troops in. So we could send troops over here, just mass rush all of our troops over to here and try and get this territory defended so that we can invade into the United States. But it'd be a long, grinding fight against them. And again, I'm already doing that against them in the Portuguese series. So I feel like I don't want to fight America at the same time in two different series. Not only the fact that it doesn't make any sense for us to have to fight the United States, and it wasn't part of our goals here in this campaign. There's just the thing I don't really feel like doing the same attack in two different campaigns at literally the same exact time. It's going to be incredibly confusing for me as well, I believe. Trying to it's one thing to have two different campaigns going at the same time and trying to remember what you're doing in each one and what you did in one and what you did in the other, what text you've gotten, and where your ships are at, what fronts you have. It's already hard enough doing the two campaigns at the same time, but to have them doing the same invasion of the same country literally at the same exact time, I think would be incredibly confusing for me. So that's another thing. It's just because we're doing it in the Portuguese series, guys. So I feel like this is it, which this might be the first time I've ever ended a campaign on the channel where we had a war still going. This could very well be the case, where, because I don't know that I've ever ended a campaign when we are, we're still in the war. But yeah, I feel like this is good, guys. We don't need to conquer America, and I don't even know what I would do with them anyway. I'd probably I guess we could try. Some people talked about getting like the Louisiana Purchase back. And try and get all the territory that was Louisiana, which of course was not just the state here. It was a lot of territory. Most of the French territory in North America was Louisiana. So could do that and try and get that back into French hands, I suppose. And then I don't really think you can I don't think you can balkanize the United States. I don't think there's much you can do here. And I don't even think you can free Mexico. I don't even think you can free Texas. I don't think they have, I don't know, they might have some tags you can break them into, but for the most part, you really can't really break it up much. So yeah, I don't even know what we would do here, guys. I mean, I guess we have the territory here, so we could conquer all this and just put it in our own hands, but yeah, I don't really feel like it's necessary, guys. I feel like this is good. I've been trying to do this for a while now on the channel, but trying to keep the campaigns more focused, so that they don't go 40-something, 50-something, 60-something videos, which we have had campaigns that were like 60-something videos before. But yeah, the goal here has been completed. It's been completed for a long time. Well, I guess as soon as we defeated the Russians, our goal for the campaign was completed. We got revenge. Got revenge on the British. Got revenge on the Germans, I should say. Austria-Hungary. The Italians. We got control of that again. You can see all northern Italy is in our hands, and the Kingdom of Italy is our puppet. We've gotten the Russians in our hands as well. But they're just Russia, because they don't have a kingdom yet, unfortunately. That's something we have to wait for them to get an expansion for. That's not the way I would have liked it. I would have liked it to have a czar there, but again, not really an option. But we do have the Kingdom of Italy. We do have a Kingdom of Prussia, and looks like there's no Kingdom of Poland either. Okay, I thought there was. Yeah, I guess there's no Kingdom of Poland either. But yeah, we've got all these kingdoms: Kingdom of Bohemia, Bavaria. We got Portugal here. So yeah, and look at how blue Africa is, man. It's just beautiful. Could have turned more of it blue. And that was one thing that somebody had asked me about if I could do. And they asked me in the comments if I could try and like just improve some of the borders, like get Jordan, obviously get all the African territories here into our hands. We'd have to get all these to make it look nice. Get all the ones in West Africa as well into our hands. We would want to get them as well. And I think that's it. I mean, it would be nice to have that, but I suppose we could do Paraguay so that we, well, I guess you don't really need to. Yeah, I think it looks fine either way. But at the very least, get these guys conquered, and then all the African countries here, and Jordan. And then if you're doing all that, you could do Switzerland too, I suppose. But I don't want to do that because of how long it will take, guys. In addition to, we'd have to finish the war with the Americans in that case. But just to show you guys how it looks, to do a war goal on Jordan, it's only 125 days. Many of the other countries I looked at, though, are a little bit more expensive. Let's just see if I can find. I think they're like 160 days to 225. Yeah, 160 I think is the norm. Most of the countries seem to be about 160 to get done. Yeah, 160 here. So yeah, these guys would all be 160. I want to say one of them was 225. But I don't remember who it was. It'd be 160 there. What about Switzerland? How expensive would they be? Yeah, it'd be 125 in Switzerland, so not as bad. So you add those all up, because remember, guys, you cannot do really more than, I guess you could probably do 2 at a time, but the second one would take a lot longer. For every country that you're forming a war goal and forming a war goal on simultaneously, the length of that war goal it's longer. It takes longer to get the war goal. So, I mean, if we were to just test this real quick, just kind of show you, like let's say we really wanted Somalia. Let's go and justify the war goal here. So it's 160 days, right? And then we wanted to justify a war goal on these guys. Well, now it's 240 days, guys. So you can see it was 160, and now it's 240. And now technically it's still quicker doing 2 because it would have been 160, right? So you'd have to wait for those 160 days. So that'd be 320 total if you waited for the Somalia one or Jordan, whichever one we did. I don't remember who we just did. But if you waited for that war goal to finish up and then did this one, then that would have been a total of, 320 days. So this is quicker, doing 2. So you can do 2 at a time, and it's still quicker. But then if you try and do a third one, well, then you're getting into the realms of ridiculousness. 485 days. So not quicker, not at all. So basically, you can only do 2 at a time. So doing 2 at a time, and one of them taking 200-something days, one of them taking 160, you can do the math on how long it would take to conquer all these countries, guys. There's a lot of them. I mean, how many states is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At least 12 if we wanted to go after these 2. There's another 14, 15 there. And then if we went after Switzerland, that'd be 16. Do the math, guys. Do the math. I mean, that's 8 times Yeah, you'd have to do like 8 times 100 and what was it? What was the base? 160. 8 times 160, and then also account for the fact that some of them are actually taking 200 something. So yeah, I don't know. You can try and do the math, guys. It doesn't matter. The point is it would take years of in-game times to do that. Just sitting on speed 5. We could just ignore everything like technology and stuff like that. But of course we can't do that because we have, we're still at war with the Americans. So none of this is an option anyways, because you'd have to finish the war with the Americans. But I just wanted to explain my reasoning for why I didn't want to fix all these and conquer all these, just because it take years of in-game time. I think if I just had to guess, maybe 3 to 4 years. And that's how long it would take to get all the war goals and conquer all these countries. 3 to 4 years in game time. We'd probably get it done somewhere around 1949, maybe 1950. And just sitting on speed 5, conquering little countries, it's just more tedious than anything else. It's not really all that fun. Makes the map look better, but yeah. When I did that in the Russian series, which is why the series got so long, because it was trying to conquer all the little countries in the world. And I think we had like 5 videos of me conquering little countries, somewhere around there. And it would probably take us a couple, at least 2 videos, probably maybe 3. 2 to 4 videos, what we'll say, to get all that done if we weren't fighting the Americans. And we did that in the Soviet series, and nobody watched it, man. Like it was really bad. I was just doing it by myself, and it was really boring. I can see why nobody watched it, because it was really boring and tedious, like going through the South America and Africa and conquering all the little countries and stuff. Yeah, it was very tedious, and so I see why nobody watched. But yeah, I basically had to do it by myself, and it was not fun. So it took way longer than I thought it was going to take. I had no idea just how long that was going to take to do. So ever since that Soviet series, I have been, against doing that again. So I don't think we will. So yeah, we won't conquer all these. And then again, I feel like there's no reason for us to fight the Americans right now. It doesn't make any sense. And I've had many people express that in the comments as well. And I feel like the series is done. So I just want to explain my reasoning, guys, since I know some people are going to be sad about the series ending. I think that's always the case, though. Even if we end it in a better state where we're not still at war with somebody, people are still sad about the series ending because we've been playing this for a while now. It's been well over a month, 5-6 weeks we've been playing this series. So yeah, it's been part of my daily life for 5-6 weeks, and for many of you, same thing. So yeah, people are gonna be sad about the series ending no matter what. But what this will allow us to do, ending the series, is what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to... I only have time to record the one Portugal series for Thursday. Tomorrow I won't be able to do one for Friday, because now the Portugal series is going to become every day, starting on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, again, we won't have a Monday episode, of course, as usual, but until we finish the Portuguese series, which we're invading the Americans right now. We've got naval invasion set up, and we're going to be invading into Florida and Louisiana. And I also hope to set up future invasions of the East Coast. So the Portuguese series is going to become every day. It was every other day where we were doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for that series. So now it's going to be the 6 days a week that this series was, the Portugal one. And then as soon as we're done, which all we have left on that one is to conquer the Americans. That's it. They're the last member of the Allies. And then we'll have the peace treaty with the Allies. And so if I had to guess, I really don't know how long it's going to take to defeat the United States. They have a lot more divisions than I thought they did in that Portuguese series. I thought they were really weak. I thought they only had like 100-something divisions, but apparently they built more. They must have changed their conscription laws or something, because now they have, I don't know how many divisions, but a lot. So it's going to take a little while to get them defeated. Thinking, I don't know, if I had to guess, maybe 4 to 5 videos to get the United States defeated. Something like that. It depends on how long it takes to be successful in invasions as well. Sometimes it can be tough to get a port and get a successful invasion going. So we'll see how long that takes. But if I had to guess, like 4 to 5 videos to get the United States defeated. So essentially, we'd be done with that. We just counted that up to be Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So by the next weekend, we should be starting a new series, guys. And so if we finish the war with the United States and conquered all these little things here, then we wouldn't be able to do that. Because even if we finish this series by the following weekend, the Portuguese one wouldn't be done. And I want to finish both of them before we start the next campaign. So it would probably be a little while longer, just because those Portugal videos I only put out 3 a week. So it'd probably be like another week and a half, 2 weeks before the next series started. Well, this one here, with ending this here, We should be able to start it sooner, hopefully. Maybe that Friday? That's what I'd like to shoot for next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday maybe. If not Friday, then maybe Saturday. Again, it depends on how that invasion of the United States goes for Portugal, but hopefully we should be starting the next campaign. So in regards to what we might be playing, I have an idea of who we're going to be playing, but I'll wait to put that out because I'll tell you this. On the community section of our channel, I had put a post up a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, I guess it's a little bit longer than it's been about a month now. I put a post up with all of the campaigns in vanilla, so not including campaigns I want to do at mods, just vanilla campaigns. I put up the 5 campaigns that I'd like to do this year. So those 5 campaigns are the plan. And then there's 5 more, I think 5 more campaigns up there for if we finish those and we feel like playing vanilla again after we played with some mods. And so those 5 campaigns are Spain, Mexico, so that'd be 2, Spain, Mexico, Japan would be 3, see the 4th and 5th one. I'm trying to remember who all we had on that list. You might need to go take a peek at that list because I don't remember who the other 2 countries were now. I think a Democratic America one was one of the options. That'd be 4 if that was one, and I just cannot remember the other one. Was it somebody here? Might have been somebody here in the Balkans. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember, honestly, guys. But yeah, there's 5 campaigns that I would like to do this year. And so it's going to be one of those, I'll tell you that. It's going to be one of those 5 that we'll be playing next. So you guys will have to wait and see. But yeah, I'd really like to get started on that next campaign because I'm excited about it. So that's another good reason to end this one. So we can start another one because this one's won, guys. America will fall. It's inevitable. They can't beat us. We got it. And it's going to be even easier because we won't have to do a naval invasion. I mean, I guarantee we'll have a port to send troops into. They'll take several of our ports that we have here, but we'll have a port. I mean, we got this port here, this one here. They might not even take that one by the time we get troops here. So they won't be able to stop us, and we won't even have to do naval invasions either, so it's going to be even easier. So yeah, I mean, they're done for. I don't see any reason to stretch this out any longer. It's already been a very long campaign. I've been trying to aim for about 20-something videos for my campaigns now, and this is 30-something, so it's pretty long. But yeah, I had fun. It was a very fun campaign for our first campaign with the Law Resistance expansion. Had a blast. Obviously, there's certain things I didn't like about the French. First of all, the French start out incredibly weak, which is fitting. But they have all those national spirits that are very negative, and then to get rid of all of them, you have to go down like a separate branch. Like every single like negative modifier requires you to go down almost all the way down, or at least halfway down, a separate branch. So it results in you not getting rid of all those negatives until 1942 or something like that, which is ridiculous. I know another country has to deal with that. I just don't feel like it would take, if France had stuck around and had, did things differently than they did historically as we did, then I don't see it taking 6 years to get rid of all those negatives, man. It's a bit much. In addition, you guys know I hate the fact that the Napoleonic branch down here, when you go down the Napoleon route, that you have to defeat the Germans to get the faction. That is terrible design. Factions are so important in this game, and then even more so now that they have the Spy Master, which is restricted to factions. But that was one penalty. That was just one penalty of us not having a faction. Another penalty, of course, was that all of the non-aligned countries decided to join our enemy, the Central Powers, instead of us. Now, part of that was because Central Powers were at war already. But if I had the option of having a faction, I would have forced a war sooner so that the Central Powers didn't grow so large. And that's what resulted in us having this world conflict because of that. The Central Powers got all those non-aligned countries into their faction, and then we had to go fight them all. We had to go all over the world and fight all these damn countries because of that faction problem. And so yeah, that was a big issue for me. I did not like it. Obviously, you guys know I griped about it over and over again. I think that was terrible design. That you have to defeat your primary rival, they're gonna be your primary rival. The Germans are. They're gonna be the toughest enemy fight, and you saw that in this campaign. That's exactly what happened. Did anybody else cause us any problems besides the Germans? I don't think so. I guess the Italians were a little bit harder than we expected them to be. It took us a little bit longer, but we defeated them, pretty quickly still. It was just we were really weak at that time, so if we had been in a later game, I think we would have rolled over the Italians. But even the Italians weren't that bad. The Germans were really the only ones that caused us any issues that I can recall. Now, obviously, we had problems here, but that was a lack of troops, not so much that they were actually troublesome. But yeah, I mean, the only real challenge was Germany, and so that was our main rival. And then you have to beat them to get a faction. So I did not like that. I thought that was a terrible design. But I am glad that when we got our own faction, that wasn't the end of the campaign. We still had what I'm calling the end game boss fight, the Comintern. We got to fight them, which, even if they didn't perform fantastically, there was a lot of them. We had all these different fronts we had to fight on. There was a lot, Yugoslavia, Spain, obviously the Russians, which we were able to avoid directly fighting them because of our puppets here. The British, of course. I'm trying to remember who else. Obviously, we were fighting all in Africa. Had a lot of fighting in Africa there. Oh wait, no, that was the Portuguese series. We had a little bit of fighting in Africa in this one. Obviously, we conquered all this territory here, conquered down a little bit south, and also, obviously, we were in South America quite a bit. A lot of fighting, and a lot more fighting in South America than I had planned. Expanded our territory here. Got a bit of territory in China, which is great. And, interesting. We have not finished up the war with Yunnan. Huh. Okay, so why is that? Is the Comintern not entirely defeated? That's what it looks like. Yeah, okay, the Comintern is not entirely defeated because of the Republic of Ma. Okay, I was wondering why we couldn't do anything with the territory that we had won here, that we had conquered. That's why, because Yunnan is actually still in the war. So we might have been able to get some of that territory in our own hands. Maybe. We occupy it, so I would assume we'd be able to get it. You have to invade into the Republic of Ma, but again, it's unnecessary. We know we've won here at this point. So I feel like this is a great place to end it. I had a good time. I appreciate everybody who joined me on the campaign. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. It was a fun one. It was also like a little bit of a moment for learning about all the new features. Obviously, we didn't use the intelligence agency much. We didn't do a whole lot of stuff here, and really there wasn't a whole lot to do. Also, one thing you may have remembered is with our occupied territories here, let's just look at the compliance. You'll notice that wherever the hell the British are, I think we have high resistance with them. Maybe that'd be the best way is to sort this by resistance. Look at the UK. Look at our compliance, guys. It's at 12.6%. Remember, it told us that we were getting 40% compliance. The reason why we didn't get that, I found this out because it's on the most recent patch notes for the beta, is because non-aligned countries can't do the compliance. So unless you're in the beta patch, non-aligned countries can't actually do it. It doesn't work properly. So even though I only used the compliance once against the British, it wouldn't have mattered anyways because it didn't work. So what else would we have done? What else can you do here besides that? I mean, we didn't need intel. We're fine there. Resistance only works if they're occupying territory for the most part, or I guess it works in colonial territory a bit. But the British were the only ones with colonial territory. The Germans didn't conquer a bunch of stuff like they typically do. So the make resistance contacts would have been useless. They can't really use that against anybody since the British were communist and freed all their colonies. So what was there to do? I guess if we had infiltrated, we could have stole some techs, but that requires all of your operatives. I think it's all 4 operatives, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 3, but I think it's 4, if I'm not wrong. I thought we had tried, and then it was 4. I recall we tried early on after we infiltrated, and we tried to capture blueprints and steal blueprints. Excuse me, we couldn't do it because you needed 4. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that was the case. So couldn't really steal blueprints without using all your operatives, and couldn't do that until you had the faction, of course, which got us 1 more operative. That's it, because we don't have very many independent countries in our faction, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything to do here, guys. I was kind of I don't know. I found it to be a little bit of a letdown. There wasn't really much there to be done. It doesn't. I think they're going to improve it. The beta patch already looks like it has improved it. For instance, the collaboration government works a lot better, but it just didn't play a huge role. The intel system is cool though. I like the intel system. That's awesome. The way you can see everything about them. Look at the intel ledger and you can see where they're operating out of, exactly what ship designs they're using. I mean, this is so cool, especially useful for the Navy, but also useful for the air as well, and for divisions. You know, you can see like where all the divisions are located, all kinds of cool stuff. So I like the intel system and that part of espionage, but the missions I found to be a little bit of a letdown, frankly. And that was kind of the main thing that was added in the expansion and patch. But I really do like this system. This is kind of cool. I'll have to play around with this a little bit more in the future when we're playing a different type of campaign than what we were doing in this one. But yeah, it's cool new system. I like a lot of the features. Just a few things I think need to be rebalanced and maybe adjusted. I feel like the focus trees were decent. The French one was all right. I liked it for the most part. There's some issues I had with it. It also feels a little bit too large. Now you wouldn't typically be complaining about that, but I mean, if you got to go like into late 40s to get all the focuses, I feel like that might be a little bit too large of a focus tree. It's much larger than some of the other ones. Portuguese one was just okay. Their focus tree was just all right. It wasn't quite as good as some of the other ones, which is why they actually had to redo it. A lot of people were unhappy with the Portuguese tree before it released, and so they ended up making a bunch of huge adjustments, whole bunch of adjustments to it. I think they did a whole another developer diary to cover the adjustments to the Portuguese tree from the first developer diary where they covered what they're doing with it. So the Portuguese tree was all right. I hear the Spanish tree is great. I've looked at it, and it's a massive focus tree. We can't really look at them here. We'd have to I don't think there's going to be any way to do that because they're not around anymore. The Spanish aren't around, but their focus tree is massive. It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to playing a Spanish campaign. But yeah, that's going to be it for this series, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry that we're ending it, obviously, without completely finishing with the United States. But again, I feel like my reasoning there, makes sense. If you disagree with me, you're free to do so. But I do feel like this is for the best in the series. I feel like it's done. I do feel like it's done here, and I just don't want to invade America on 2 different campaigns, guys. So I do apologize that we didn't finish it technically because we didn't do the United States, but I do feel like it's finished. I feel like we did the goals. Europe is ours for the most part, and it looks interesting at the very least. This situation here is not great, but yeah, this wasn't really under our control. Japanese, for some reason, really concentrated on doing this when they didn't even hold any of this territory, so they just wasted their points on that. That was silly. So it was very expensive. It took them, each turn they were only able to do one thing here. I don't know why they were so set on doing stuff in the Balkans, but whatever. That's what they wanted to do. It opened up a lot of opportunities for us because they were spending their whole turns doing that. If they hadn't spent so much time on that, then we would have been able to do a lot less overall in the world. So it happened as it did. But yeah, I had a blast with it. Hope you guys did enjoy it as well. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. If you're looking for any other content to watch while you wait for the new series to start, maybe go check out that Portuguese series if you haven't already. That one's been a fun one, and it's kind of gone like this one, a little bit different than I had initially planned on it going. A lot of different things. Didn't go quite the way I expected. We had some difficulties early on, but overall it's been a fun campaign and it's gone well. So maybe check that out if you haven't already. I have like 2,000 something videos on the channel, guys, of all sorts of genres. So if you're looking for HOI4 content, there's a lot, like 20 something. I think I'm closing in on like 30 something campaigns on the channel. So if you're looking for another HOI4 series, you should be able to find something to watch. If you're looking for other Paradox games, I've got a couple Stellaris series, EU4 series from a little while back, and 2 CK2 roleplay series that were really fun. If you haven't watched those, then definitely go check those out. And then, again, we play a lot of different games on the channel, so if you're looking for something outside of strategy, then go check out the front page of the channel. We have all the videos, the series sorted by genre. We got survival games, action games. We play games like Car Mechanic Simulator and truck driver games. Just anything that looks fun, looks interesting, we'll check it out on the channel. So yeah, you should be able to find something to watch while you wait for the next campaign to start, which again, hopefully should be not this Friday or Saturday, but next Friday or Saturday. And it might even be sooner than that. if the Portuguese series goes quicker than I expected to. We'll just have to see. Could also take longer. Who knows? Maybe the United States just stymies all our efforts. I don't expect that to happen because we've got a lot of divisions, and they don't have as many as they typically do at this point. So I hope to see you guys on another video, another series. I do hope you guys, stay healthy, stay safe out there in this, obviously in this crisis that we've got going. It's crazy, man. But I do hope everybody's doing well, and that you guys, obviously if you can, stay inside, social distancing, all that. Many of us here in America have to work, so that's not really an option. But yeah, if you're able to, then yeah, stay inside, avoid going out. Keep your family safe, guys. This is not what we were originally led to believe, that this is only something that's going to be killing old people, and which is obviously bad enough. I mean, that's a big deal. But we at least thought, that your kids, your spouse, if you're a younger person, 20-something, 30-something, 40-something years old, we at least thought, it's just gonna be like the flu. You get a flu, you get over it, and then you're good to go, But we're finding out that is not the case. There's been a lot of very serious cases for young people in their 20s, people in their 30s, people dying. There's been teens dying. I saw a story about a 16-year-old that died in France, and then there's like a couple 17-year-olds that died here in America from it. And some of these cases, they certainly do have like pre-existing conditions, but many of them they don't. There's many of these cases where they don't have anything wrong with them, and it's serious for them. So take it serious, guys. Avoid crowds, all this stuff, social distancing, wash your hands, try your best to stay inside and quarantine yourself. Self-isolate, whatever you want to call it. Try and stay safe and healthy out there, guys, for yourself, for your family, for your friends. But yeah, I'm going to keep creating content so that, in this time when so many of us are, so many people are stuck in their house right now, at least we'll have some content to watch. And I'll keep on creating content as much as I can, given, things are kind of crazy in our house right now as well. But yeah, I'll keep on creating content and just try and take care of yourselves out there, guys. So I do hope to see you on another series, that next campaign, or maybe some older content. And I do appreciate you guys joining me on this one. It was fun. I had a good time. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.